everybody. Welcome back to our second video, United by Blood. Today we are going to review the match against Fulham. Frustrating 1-all draw, a frustrating performance. I'm joined by Adnan today. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, Devraj cannot make it due to some other commitments. But we'll head right into it. So,
Yeah,
Adnan, what's your reaction from the game today?
I think first things first, we've got a fan within ourselves who's one of those fans who starts hiding their faces when we have a disappointing performance. So I would say, thankfully, we don't have him today. But I mean, he needs to learn to deal with such things. But yeah, disappointing game. I think first week we were all very positive despite the loss against Arsenal. But this game was a bit like last season. Some scars from last season showing up this season again. Um, so yeah, a bit disappointed from the match.
Yeah, I think it's the same for me. Coming out of Arsenal, coming out of the game from Arsenal, even though we lost the game, I don't think any United fan went out unhappy with the performance. But it's the
Yeah,
same thing from last season. We can, I think it's just that same thing from last season. Every time we scored a goal, we were just so open. Just soon after we conceded, I think that's what happened yesterday. And I think we started the game really well. You could say the first 10 or maybe 15 minutes, we started really well.
yeah,
We were on the group chat and you said, very good start.
yeah, yeah,
But I think that the game just kept going away and away from us as every minute went by. And
yeah.
we'll go on to individual players shortly. But what do you think tactically? What do you think went wrong for us? Or I don't think anything I don't think it was anything to do with how badly we played or what it was, but it's just disappointing because we're just going back to the bad habits from last season. So, what do you think?
I think a lot goes down to luck factor as well sometimes. Like it's quite underrated in football because in the first 10 minutes we completely dominated Fulham. They were almost shell-shocked by the intensity that United players brought on. Uh, Cunha with that brilliant effort, some link-up play in the final third was brilliant in the first 10-15 minutes. So if you go on to look back at those, those moments like Cunha hitting the post and that ball, by the way, by Bayender over the top where Cunha took it down brilliantly and then absolutely brilliant save by Leno. So if you put that into context and think about if it had gone our way, it goes down to 2-0 in the first 15 minutes and then the game's pretty much really, dead for Fulham. It's very difficult to come down from a 2-0 win and then puts United players into more confidence. But not getting that first goal early kind of killed the rhythm a bit. And then Fulham started, obviously, any team that gets a bit more time onto the pitch where we're still goalless, Fulham started getting a bit more confident. And yeah, eventually, I think they finished as the better team, if I'll be honest. And I think we were the lucky team to be coming out with a draw from that game. So yeah, it's not down to
Yeah, yeah,
tactics or anything. Uh, yeah, I mean, it's just disappointing upfront in terms of not being that clinical enough.
so just to talk about the pass that you spoke about from behind it. Oh, I just read something on Instagram a while ago. That was the only big chance that was created throughout the game by any of our players, and that just shows what kind of a performance we put in. Not to say that if we would have continued playing the way we played in the first 10, 15 minutes, we could have easily beat them. Like I said in the last video, I guess if we play the way we played against Arsenal, we can beat any team in the league.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of things have just gone back to how it was last season. But anyway, let's move on to Bruno's penalty miss. What do you think about it? There's a lot of talk about he got bumped by the referee and that put him
Yeah.
off and stuff like that. What's your take on it?
I mean, obviously, it's not something that you can blame on, but I mean, every player has a penalty routine, and then when you go into that routine, you want to be as focused as possible. And something like that, when that happens, it kind of breaks your focus. So that's why Bruno was really agitated and frustrated with the referee's, bump. But apart from that, I think I've never really faced that kind of a doubt in my head when Bruno's taking penalties in the last few years. I don't know. Yesterday seemed a bit odd. I think we were discussing from minute one where just Bruno seemed a bit different. I don't know if it's got to do with all the rumors in the background about him leaving and pressure around him. But I mean, penalty miss is a penalty miss. It can happen to anyone. Happens to the best players in the world. So that's not something I'm very much bothered about.
Just to highlight what you said about Bruno's performance yesterday, and let's not sit and talk about this yesterday. Even the game against Arsenal, I don't think he was at his best. Now, I don't know whether
Yeah,
that is to do with all the transfer rumors that have gone around him, or whether that is Kudia and Mpumo getting more of the attention, or I just don't know what it is, but he, he does not sit well in the eight role. That's just the
yep,
fact. No matter what, like he might do a good job uh, if we play Grimsby next. If we play them, or we're playing
yeah,
Burnley in the league after that, he might play well in any of those games in the number eight role. But that doesn't take away the fact that he is not suited for that role. He
yeah.
is he's our best player. He has been a best player for the past few years. But I don't think that role is suited for him. Just in terms of the amount of risks he takes, it's a good. I think it's always a good thing to take risks in football. Like risk, if your risks pay off, then you get a great reward for it. But
Yeah.
you cannot be taking those risks in your own half or in your defensive third. Uh, the back pass, not the back pass to Yoro against Arsenal was really risky. It's just certain things like you cannot just play long balls all the time. You cannot play final passes all the time. But in my opinion, I don't think the number eight role is suited for him. What about you?
No, I think I pretty much agree to it to a certain bit of extent because see, I think there's no doubt about his quality and that what he brings into the team. Everyone speaks highly about his leadership within the dressing room as well, calling him really selfless in terms of someone that always wants United to improve, other players to improve. This preseason, there was him attending, I mean, just staying back with Hoyland, who was having a striker's session just to help him out. So it shows about his character, but obviously, tactically, he's the best player, but we're playing him in the wrong position. We're not playing him in his best position. In that eight role, it's quite a demanding role where you need, and especially when you're playing the a 3-4-3 with two central midfielders and you want to press high up the pitch as well, then it's quite a demanding role. But I think defensively, he struggles a lot in terms of his discipline. I'm not saying that he doesn't run much or he cannot recover, cannot tackle. I'm not saying that, but just in terms of his discipline. So I think if you look back at at the Fulham goal, Smith Rowe was his runner. So I think he should be tracking him. Any other traditional number eight or traditional number six would naturally do that role job. And him playing in that role, even in possession while we've got the ball, it just seems very different because he's quite an attack-minded player and who's always going to look to thread those passes forward and things like that. So in certain games where yeah, the opponent is absolutely really deep and you need a ball progression kind of a player in that deeper role is fine, but week in, week out, I don't think Bruno suited for that role. I think you look back at the Bournemouth performance in the preseason. That was, in my opinion, the best performance we've had in a long time. Although it's just preseason, but yeah, best performance in a long time. What did Bruno play in that performance? Where did he play? Yeah, he played as a 10. He scored two goals in that game, one of a penalty and one brilliantly executed finish. So I think he's the best player on the pitch when he plays in that attacking role. But the eighth role is somehow just not suiting him.
Yeah, and I think that's the situation we've put ourselves in. I don't know if it would be best for United and for Bruno if he would leave at the start of the season. I'm not saying I wanted him to leave, but
Mm.
now we're in a situation where we have we have a striker who had a full preseason, who is not in the squad for any of the games. And Hoyland, Zogzi is not fully fit. Um, Sesko is I don't know I don't know why he does not start him yet, considering the fact that there's clear issue that we are not scoring goals. But now we're in a
No, I
situation
think
where we have yeah, go on.
I think with Sesko, it's very, very important for us as a fan base to be patient about it. I think he spoke in the press conferences as well. That is another young striker coming to United with the price tag. He's coming to United, and obviously the entire front three, Cunha, Mbuemo, Sesko, is just come in this summer. So we have to give that sort of a time and putting him in these games where. Uh, I think he's not had the full preseason as well with the team. It's just been 2 or 3 weeks that he's come in. So it takes time for a new striker to settle in, and they don't want to repeat the mistake that they did with Hoyland. So I'm sure that is one of the reasons why he's not started him yet. And obviously, you saw a brilliant game in Arsenal versus United. So, like we discussed, it would be very difficult for him to replace that front three.
Guys, unfortunately, we have our third useless member joining in. He'll be with us shortly. But just to talk about what I was saying earlier, um, now we are in a situation where we have an abundance of number 10s. We have Cunha, we have Bruno, we are the 10s as in not their actual position. I'm saying the players who can play 10s in our system. It's Cunha
Yeah.
and Bruno, uh, Ahmad can play there, Soxy can play there, Mount can play there. I would argue that would be the best position for Mainoo as well. In my opinion, I think that is the best position for him. Although right now, considering the situation, I think he should be playing where Bruno is playing. Not saying that Bruno
Mm.
needs to be out of the starting 11 and Mainoo should start every game. But talking about that, I really didn't understand his substitutions yesterday. I did not
Yeah.
understand it one bit. The moment he put Mount and Bruno in midfield, you were the first one to say you're not sure about these two in the midfield. And I think it's safe to say Bruno was just not in the game yesterday. His head was not in the
Yeah.
game. I don't know. I don't even think it was to do with the penalty. It was just before that. It was the previous game. He's just not there. I don't know what it is. I'm not saying that I don't want him to play or start games. It's nothing like that. But it's it's very important to face the fact that
Yeah.
no matter what, if if Amorim has sent out our academy player Rashford because he does not have faith in him, it is very easy to just take Bruno off. And I think the best thing yesterday was to put Mainoo on for Bruno. I would keep Mount on yesterday. Um, I just did not understand the substitutions at all. Um, I feel like the substitutions that Marco Silva made for Fulham, I think that really
Mm.
brought them much more into the game than they were already into the game. But
Yeah.
the more substitutions we made, the more it took us out of the game.
A very interesting point there with Marco Silva's change as well. They started the game based on our shape. So they started with a back three. And then when they made those substitutions, it's almost sort of a game plan where you stick to a certain shape based on what the opponents do and based on neutralizing them. And once you're beyond that phase, then you go back into your own personnel which you're used to playing with a back four, three in the midfield, three up front. And then all of a sudden your team starts clicking better. And no matter how much we talk about United, but Fulham, despite not making any signings this year, they've got a pretty decent bench yesterday. I think one of the key player, Pereira, didn't even come on pitch. I think he's injured or something like that. But all the players that came on for them had an impact. Yes, I think yesterday's game, Ruben substitution were, I would say, a disaster because I didn't understand as well. One thing that has been going on in United for a few years is sort of favoritism in terms of certain players being on the pitch, no matter how bad they're playing. And I agree that Bruno brings in the quality, and he could just in a split of second he could create anything. But I think if we need to go into the next level, we need to look at the likes of City, for example. Bernardo was on the bench in the previous game, and he's their captain. So it doesn't matter if, like, even if you're the best player on the squad, but I think at times when you need to be taken off, you have to come off. I was reading this stat yesterday that I think since March 2023, he's never come off in a Premier League game. He's played entire matches for the entire duration. He's never come off, and that's 2 years now. So really, really, really good for the team. But I think yesterday was a good chance for him to come off. I think Mount was doing really well. And Mount is the linking factor between the attack and midfield. And when you take him off, we've seen in both the games now, even against Arsenal and against Fulham, when you take off Mount, the link starts to bother a bit. So I think he learned from it. And again, about Mainoo as well. It's all over the internet. It's all over the media. Everyone's talking about it. He's a really talented boy, but we again need to be patient. It's just second game in the season. Yes, he could have brought him on, but it's not that he sidelined him or something like that. It's just how the game went on. It was easy for him to come on, but he decided to go for something else. And everyone's sort of saying that why did Ugarte come on and not Mainoo? But you need to understand, like, Mainoo is a very different profile of a player, and Ugarte is a very different profile of a player. And in that phase of the match, we required more legs onto the pitch, so that's why he might have preferred Ugarte. So yeah,
Yeah,
and yeah, last bit was the centre backs. I think the second game in row where we've soaked two wide centre backs. I think it's all down to having a bit more aerial presence in the set pieces. I think he's better than Shaw in aerial abilities, and obviously Maguire just is I mean, presence in the box. So I'm not concerned about that much.
there he is.
There he is. There he is
Yes.
with Bex on the background.
Yeah. Devraj, did you catch the game yesterday?
Yeah, I did. I actually watched bits and pieces of the first half because I was doing some decoration at home. But the second half I saw, and I think the first five
That
ten
is
minutes
that
of
is
the
why
game.
that is why we lost the game. That is why we lost control of the game. And go on.
Well, yeah, no, I I think just we lacked aggression overall in the game. After the first 5-10 minutes, we were just very loose with the balls. Other than a few players putting in efforts, I could not see our players wanting to win. Actually, they were just there for the sake of it.
So quickly on, let's go down to him. Let's go down to Kobbie Mainoo. What do we think about him? Is it better for him to move? Is it best for him to stay? What are we thinking?
I mean, as a fan, I would definitely want him to stay. But if I were in his place and considering the few of the performances which he has put in last season, uh, it's fair for him to feel that he should be playing more. And if he decides to leave, I hope it's just a loan because he's a class player and selling him, I think it would come back on our heads someday.
No, I think I've got no doubts that he will leave. I don't think so. Many reasons to it. One is that we're already less on numbers in that position. He's got 2 years more left on his contract, so that is there. And also, he's a boyhood United player, United fan. Um, and still very young, so I think he's going to be the future of the club. So I don't see him leaving.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think as a club, we need to put in some more youngsters. We've always followed that ideology. So, so yeah, I think maybe that's the way forward. Back your boys.
My side, like you said, Devraj, as a fan, I don't want him to leave. Um, I really think, don't know, I felt like even if we got Amarim or whoever we got while we were appointing the next manager, we should have got someone who would build around him for the future. Um, that's just what I think. It would really be disappointing if he left. He's really talented. Um, I don't know if uh, the eight in this system is the best position for him. I'm not too sure about that. But when you've had a full preseason and you have that player there, I understand that you have Cunha, you have Bruno, and you have Bruno, and you have to play. You have to sacrifice one of those and play them behind, and you can't play Mainoo there, considering. Uh, Not to say that Mainoo does not have any experience. He has experience, but comparatively, he has less experience than these players. But I still think he would be better on the left side at 10 where Cunha plays. But once again, you cannot play him there because Cunha is there. Um, but yeah, I don't want him to go. I don't think he will leave. I think it's put it like it's just 6 days left for the window to shut. I don't think he'll leave. But yeah, let's wait and see. Let's hope he does not leave. So, guys, moving on to Lenny Yoro's goal. And I think he was one of the best performers for us yesterday. And Cunha, um, I would say, did it as well. But a lot of them were quite off, including Mbumo. I don't think Shesko did his best when he came on, but like I don't expect him to do that much in the amount of time he gets, and when the game is up to that speed, you can't expect a player to just come on and do what he does. Um, but yeah, I think Letty Yoro was great yesterday. The last man tackle, the
Yeah.
goal, maybe it was going off target. That's why it gone down as an own goal, but still, like to get, and I would argue it's a foul as well. It was definitely a foul. What do you guys think?
I feel like it's the referee's decision. So, we were robbed in the first game. Things change in the second game, and yeah, I think as you rightly mentioned, Yoro, one of the best performers. I really liked him. Plays in my position, calm, composed. Something I'm not. So yeah, he's
But
class and he's aggressive where he needs to
Hold on,
be.
hold on,
So
hold on, hold on, hold on,
hold on,
hold on,
hold
hold
on,
on.
hold on, hold on, hold on.
You
But
played his position. He does not play your position.
uh,
oh, he's younger
no,
than me. He's younger than me. So he plays in my position. Okay.
but he starts, Devraj. He starts matches. He's not on the bench or in the reserve. So I cannot back you on that claim.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, go on with what we were saying. Sorry.
Me? No, I'm gonna shut up for a while.
No, I think Euro's really tall and his leap is. I mean, we've seen that a few times before as well. Unfortunately, he's not got a goal yet, but that goal, I think. Foul, very debatable. I don't think that's a foul because it's too soft. I genuinely don't think that's a foul. It's too soft for someone who did like that. Now people would argue in terms of uh, how it was where in the penalty claim where it was a similar situation. But then you Calvin Bassey has literally pinned Mount down to the floor, so it's surely a penalty. But that Yoro goal is never a foul. I think Arsenal scored like 20 goals like that, so we should get used to those things now. We should be really cocky and
Euro reminds
really
me of. Oh, sorry,
go
continue.
on, go on, go on, go on. Reminds you of whom?
I was just going to say reminds me of Prime Clivert.
And
No chance. No
well,
chance.
I think the length of Yoro's legs is close to what
Yeah,
you are, Devraj.
he's mad tall, bro. I'm mad short for a centre back. But
That's
yeah,
why I said length of legs. He didn't say height. But yeah.
well,
Uh, Anyway, so going on to Fulham's goal, um, Adnan, from a tactical perspective, what do you think?
No, I think it's just not being with your marker. I think it's discipline, defensive discipline. Bruno's not dragged Emil Smith Rowe, who's gone into that space and finished and decent goal for them. They look like scoring before that as well. Good bit of possession and good bit of pace for them where they constantly had a lot of ball. So I think a natural number eight or a number six has to track that midfield run. Um, and if you do that, then we don't concede.
Devraj, anything to add about the goal?
yeah, no, I think what Adnan rightly said. We seem to be switched off at the moment, so they they capitalized on the chance and they were being aggressive with the ball, without the ball. So I think the goal was coming, and yeah, there's nothing more. I think our players just need to put in some more effort on the ground, as we've been discussing.
Right. Um, just quickly about Banter, something I'd like to say. Um, I think he's been great on the ball. I don't think there's an issue with that. So, and in the past, Cunha yesterday was really good. But he's just on the floor after every corner. Like, I don't know how. I mean, it's not going to take long for other teams to just watch the game. Look at if we've conceded five corners. Look at he's fallen down on every corner and just win corners and just score against us. Maybe okay. I would not entirely blame him for it. I mean we should. He needs to be strong there, but I think the players around him need to protect him as well in that situation. But you cannot just he's literally falling down on every corner. Like, I'm not saying that bringing Onana in or if Lamens comes in now, it's going to change things. But I don't understand how this works.
I think we also discussed this in the first episode as well. Like taking command in the 6 yard box is something which he's lacking. So if as you rightly said, he's good with his feet, but that's not his job.
You said like you bring Onana on or Lemons on and nothing, like it'll be the same. But I don't think it'll be the same. I think keeper needs to be commanding in that situation. You saw that uh, against Arsenal as well, like where Raya had a similar situation where Dillit was right on his back, uh, putting lots of pressure, and um, you saw him brilliantly punching it out, being strong, with his knees up, no strikers getting close to him. So you need to have that from your goalkeeper. And I expect, I mean, whoever comes in, whether it's going to be Lemons, I think we're going to sign him. He's going to be a good addition. Again, we need to be very patient with him. He's going to be a 22, 23-year-old goalkeeper coming into Manchester United from a Belgian league. So um, we need to be patient about that boy as well. We cannot write him off in 1 month or 2 months. He's gonna have bad patches. But yeah, we need to be patient.
Okay. Just quickly, um, yes, we need to be patient with a lot of things, and we need to be patient with this as well. But are you really seeing that connection between Ahmad and Mbeumo yet?
Yeah, I think both new signings. It's not like they played for the same club before. They've had good amount of time in training, but 3 weeks, 4 weeks is not good amount of time. You need at least good amount of matches to link up well, to play well. Then people talk about how other teams have adapted so quickly, the likes of Spurs. But playing for Spurs and United in Spain, the pressure is absolutely always there. Even before you play your first game, the pressure is there. People are talking about you all the time. So I think more or less very soon we'll see Cunha and Mbeumo link up and play really well. So I'm not very bothered about it. But yeah, they need to get the ground running. We don't want another 007 behind our name.
Well, now that we can hope for.
So moving on, we asked you your favorite Manchester United player from the past, and I'm going to read out a few of these. Um, so Adnan says Wayne Rooney, the same as my favorite player. It's the reason he's the reason I started supporting Manchester United. So Adnan and I are with Wayne Rooney. Yuvraj Bogra says Wayne Rooney. Nidhi Kanodia says Wayne Rooney. Um, I don't really know the names, but Parv Football underscore football says Wayne Rooney as well. Underscore Harsh 14 says Rooney as well. There's a surprise one.
Quite
I'll
a
read
few.
it out later. There's a surprise one. I'll read it out later. Uh, Devraj says Adnan Januzaj. Good one.
You know what? You know what? I was very close to saying that because just a very short story about it is like just around the time when he made his debut, we were at DSK Shivaji's Football Academy. It was our first year, and all of a sudden it was like Adnan Januzaj, Adnan Januzaj. It was all over this, and then being a left footer myself, playing on this, I used to play where he like I used to play left winger before, so we used to play the same position as well. So I had a very good, it was an instant fanboy moment for me. He was a very good player. I don't know what went wrong for him, but I mean, I loved him a lot. He was a
Yeah.
sensational player.
Adnan really loved him. You share the same first name as well, so that's pretty good.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
yeah. Aryan Hukumchand says Ji Sung Park. Good one.
Ooh, yeah.
There's some Arsenal fan over here who does not understand the question and has said Anthony and Sancho.
So,
We
do we
just
have a name?
he's my brother-in-law, so I'm not gonna use
Okay.
him. Um, we have. I'm really sorry, guys. I don't know your full name, so I'm just reading out your usernames. It's underscore Bhatia 13 says Jordi Cruyff.
We know who said it. Adnan and I both.
Um,
There's some peak Barcelona fans in the comment section there.
um, this one's from my dad, Charlie Miller. I think Adnan's going to like this one, and Devraj too. Antonio Valencia for sincere commitment to Man United, and David Beckham for his flair and talent. That's a good one.
Of course,
Yeah.
Um,
and that's
I
a
don't know.
real wallpaper, guys. Unlike the first one.
Legend. Um, I'm sorry, this seems to be some kind. It says Raw Penny. I'm assuming this is Devraj's friend, but she says her favorite United player from the past is Devraj Shastri.
Yes, yes, yes. Come on.
I'm I'm
Get it.
I'm I'm pretty sure he must have lied to her, like she must have been new to football and something. और इसने बोला रहेगा कि no, I used to play for that club before or something like that.
If you're watching this, just to let you know, if Devraj ever played for United, Adnan and I wouldn't be on this podcast. We wouldn't be supporting the club. Just
No
to
chance, no
put it
chance.
out there. Anyway, that's your predictions. Sorry, that's your favorite players from the past. My bad.
Yeah.
That's our episode for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Drop a like, drop a comment, subscribe to our channel, and let us know what you would like to see in the next video. Thank you. Have a nice day. Good night.
Good night. Bye bye.